Uh, Good morning all. Today let us start with the basics of the Android Studio. Alright. Here as I said that you need to know the overall environment of the Android Studio, where from, what to fetch and what to do and all. Right. So today we are going to cover all the basics, how to interact with the Android Studio. Right. How to interact with the Android Studio. So I'm sharing my screen. I hope my screen is visible to you. Let me know.
Yes, it is
Right.
visible, ma'am.
Right. Well, so I have opened up my Android Studio to you. Right. Now let me start again from the first. So I will close the first application. As I yesterday told you that when you open Studio, it will open whatever was the recent project. So it will open up that recent project for you. Right. So you need to you need to close the current ongoing project and you need to open your project. So I'll be clicking on, see, close the project first, right? So now see what it has given me, right? It has given me this window, right? It has given me this window which asks me to open the existing project or open the new project, right? So now see what this part will cover: how to create the new project in Android. This is there in your theory part in unit number 2. How to create the write the stepwise procedure of how to create the new Android project. So you need to know all this. So here let us see what it has given me. So I'll be clicking on this option, that is start a new Android Studio project, right? So if I click on this, if I click on this start a new project, so what will be my stepwise procedure? Launch the studio, then click on create the new project. Now it is asking me to select an activity. Now yesterday in a class already I have discussed with what is an activity, right? So now it is asking you for different types of the activity. Now I'll be clicking on this empty activity, right? I'll be clicking on this empty activity. So one activity stands for one screen of a application which will serve as the user interaction. So I'll be clicking on this particular new empty activity. Rather, I'll select this and click on next. Now it is asking me for the name of the project, right? It is asking me for the name of the project. So this is what the name of the project. Then over here, this is the app package name. Now by default over here, it has come whatever the name you give to your project, that last name, my application, that will be taken over here automatically. It gives you the location. Now you need to simply just once look at over here where your project is going to be saved. So by default, when you install the Android, it has created Android Studio projects folder for you into whatever login you have done through, right? So this is the folder in which your projects will be saved, and whatever name over here you give, it will be saved by that name. Now next is asks you about the language. Now when I click over here, it gives me this drop down where Java and the Kotlin are the two options, right? As I said that in market, I have the people use the Kotlin as well for backend programming, but here in our case, we are going to use the Java. I hope my voice is enough audible to you. It's
Yes.
clear. Okay. Now next, it is what the minimum SDK that we are going to use. Again, here from the drop down box, we can select right here from the drop down box. This is Java and Kotlin, and second from this SDK, we have different APIs available. That is, you can say the versions of the Android. It is asking you for which version of the Android you want to program, right? For which version of the Android you want to program. See, right from the 4.1, it has till Android 10, right? I expect you to do something in between 5, 6, 7. This is because if we go for the 10, I do not know whether my studio supports or your phone supports this execution, right? It depends. Again, if we program for 10 and if we execute the program on our mobile phone, and if our mobile phone do not support the Android 10, there will be some problem with it. So it's better to select the some a middle version of it. Let us take 5.0 as a lollipop, or you can just choose whichever the minimum selected over here, but I suggest to select the average one, right? Now let me give the name to the application as, say, TYCO1. Yesterday probably we might have created something, so TYCO1 is the name of the project. So by default package name it has taken a TYCO1, and now I am clicking on a finish. So what the steps now, it is your project is being loaded, wait for some time. Now, what the steps we have seen right now, that is how to create the new project in Android Studio. There could be a theory question on it. Now, at the bottom, please observe over here, Gradle sync started. So you need to wait for that it is doing something, right? Once it shows you finish, then it means that everything has been created on your screen. Now let us by that time look for the overall screen, what it is. Now see, observe here also Gradle build. It's going on. All right, let me change the color. See overall it's doing something. It means yet your whole project is not launched perfectly. By that time, do not click here and there. Yes, now you observe the left window, it's being updated, right? Now it's finished, and see at the bottom it has said Gradle sync finished. It means now your perfect launching of the project is done, right? It means the perfect launching of your project is done. By that time, do not unnecessarily click into these folders, and you will get to know some any other unknown folders. Someone please mute yourself. Someone's mic is unmuted, right? Now coming back to our major screen. Now see what are these screen stands for. Now the overall screen, again this is also there in your unit number 3. See, this is also there in your unit number 2, sorry. That is explain the Android Studio environment, right? Now coming back here, the at the top, this one, this is your menu bar, right? The top one, this whole is what your menu bar, wherein it has given you different menus. Then second one is your toolbar. This is your menu bar and this is your toolbar, right? And now the next one, this is what the hierarchy of the folders which are available into the project. So here you might see the TYCO1, which is the name of our project, which has been, which just we have created, and further these are all the folders available into this particular project, right? If you have any query in between, you can interrupt and ask me. Then now let us see our screen. Now see this whole overall vertical strip is there, which has few names, right? Out of this, we have clicked on a project one, and that is why this left pane is there. So this is your left pane. This is your middle pane, and when I click, and now this is your right pane, right? And when we sync the Gradle or something, here it will give you some bottom pane as well, right? When you start executing, or even it gives you the bottom pane when you build your project, right? Let me clear all the drawings. So right now we are in a left pane. Now observe here that you have clicked on Android. Why I'm letting you know all these minor things. This is what the Android folder. Make sure that you have clicked the Android folder. Then only all these correct things will be popped up for you, right? So now if I say, see over here, there are many number of the things. So if you are clearly on the Android, then and then only it gives you a proper hierarchy. Now next theory question for you. Now these simultaneously we are going as we, it is covering your theory part as well as you need to know practically as well. So as you can get easily interact with the studio, right? Now it is compressed. So what this left window gives you, this window is called as the project window, right? This window is called as the project window. So it has the minimum folders which are necessary for us. Now observe here, we have clicked on the app folder, right? So now your main subfolders under this one is a manifest, second is Java, and third is a RES. When you when this is the scenario that you have clicked on the Android, then you have clicked on the app, and you can see these main three folders under it. It means you are on a correct way, and your studio and your project is working well, right? The next folder is a Gradle script, which is really absolutely none of our business right now. This is what the scripts gets automatically executed when we build a project, right? So this Android does it at its own backend. So we don't need to click on this folder and do not play with this. So what are the major folders for us now? Now the major folders that we have clicked on the app, and these three are the major folders for us. So what we have discussed, we have seen the project window, right? Now let us click on some one of it. If I click, let's say, if I expand now, this is just like a Windows Explorer where it gives the files and the folders in some hierarchical tree-like structure to access. Similarly, it has given the folders of your project in some hierarchical structure so as you can access, right? So ultimately, these are the files and the folders which makes your project. Yesterday, as I said, why to call it as a project? But because it has more than one number of the files, right? So now I have expanded every one of it, right? I have expanded every one of it. Now let us see when I click on the manifest, and then under manifest, this is the Android manifest.xml file, right? Your every Android project consists of XML file and the Java files. So right now I was speaking about the Windows. So now let me click on RES folder. Then let me click on layout folder, and let me click on activity underscore main. When I double click it, its respective, when I double click it, its respective code will be provided over here, right? When I double click on it, its respective code will be provided, will be displayed into the middle window. Right now it's not being displayed. So what do I need to do? That oh, what do I need to do? I hope it's you can see the screen.
Yes, it
Right
is
now, yes,
visible.
okay. Now see, when something happens like that, that you cannot see your code in between. So what you will be doing, at the right top corner, there are the three buttons. You will be clicking the middle button, which stands for display the code as well as the side window as well. So now I'll be clicking on this middle button. Now see, as soon as I have clicked on the middle button, my window has been divided. Now I can see the middle window. This was my left window, and now this is my middle window. My left window gives displays all the project structure, or in your terms you can say it shows all the directories and the files. My middle window shows me code, right? And my right window shows me preview of whatever I am designing, whatever I'm designing into the I'm designing to develop a UI. That is, designing is what, whenever I'm writing a code into the XML, it means I'm designing, right? Designing, what designing? That is a screen design. So whenever I be writing the XML code, how it would look, its preview will be displayed into the right window, right? Its preview will be displayed into the right window. Now this is of course the right window. It has shown you the preview of the things how to do it, right? Now let me close it again. Well, now see, coming back to the left window. Now about the left window, what the theory part it has covered, and the concept, that is the, now this is said as the what directory structure of Android Studio. When it is asked, you are supposed to explain this directory structure. So in this case, what you are supposed to draw this diagram in a sense, label every folder. So in that case, you don't need to expand everything. So what you will be writing over here is in app expand manifest, in Java expand this one, and in RES expand this one, and then layout expand this one. This one, this everything is expected. And in a Java, again click on the first one. Now see, this is the minimum and the required extended directory structure of the Android. This is minimum and required directory structure of the Android. So how you'll be explaining that this is the manifest XML file. This main activity under the first com.example folder is the Java file, and under the RES folder, actually RES folder has 4 subfolders: drawable, layout, map, and values. Right now you'll be letting know about only the layout. Right, so what is the layout folder? Layout folder has all the XML files which are used to design your user interface. That is the screens of your application. आप जो भी application बना रहे हो उसका यूजर इंटरफेस हमें बनाना है, उसका स्क्रीन डिजाइन करना है, तो उसका यूजर इंटरफेस बनाने के लिए we will be writing code into the XML files, and all those XML files are stored under the layout folder. राइट, सो मतलब हम लोग क्या बना रहे, लेआउट डिजाइन कर ले, स्क्रीन का लेआउट डिजाइन कर रहे, राइट. एंड अंडर दिस लेआउट फोल्डर बाय डिफॉल्ट इट हैज क्रिएटेड एक्टिविटी अंडरस्कोर मेन. Now whenever a layout file is created, XML file, its corresponding Java file is always created. When I create an activity, right, when I repeat guys, when I create an activity, empty activity, its XML file as well as Java file, both the files are created. So you observe the names. Here it is activity underscore main, and here it is main activity, right? So when next time I'll be creating empty activity, it will create the two files. It will create the XML file and simultaneously it will create the another Java file. But if I create only the XML file, then it will create only XML and not the Java file. Got it? I said when I create the activity, when I create the new activity, I didn't say the XML file. When I create the new activity, it creates two files simultaneously. One is the XML file and other is the Java file, right? And you will be writing the code. What you will be writing the user interface code, or you can say design code, or you can say in your terms the screen, मतलब जो स्क्रीन का डिजाइन है, यूजर इंटरफेस है, उसका कोड आप XML फाइल में लिखोगे. और आपको जो बैकएंड में फंक्शनैलिटी चाहिए, व्हाट डू यू वांट at the back end to execute when you click somewhere here and there, right? Is that clear? That I'll be writing the user interface code or the design screen design code into the XML files, and I'll be writing the background code into the Java files. हर एक respective इसका I'll be writing into the respective Java file. मेरे पास जो XML है उसी के respective Java में मैं Java का कोड लिखूंगी. There could be n number of the Javas. तो मुझे कहाँ पे लिखना है कि इसका respective Java file कौन सा है, right? So in that respective Java file, I need to write the code. Now this backend code simply stands for key. What should happen? What whenever we deal to any functionality, right? जो भी आपको function execute कराना है, कोई तो भी event execute कराना है, backend में जो programming चाहिए, that will be written into the Java file. अभी there are two types of the XML file. One is the layout में भी XML file है और manifest में भी XML file है. Right? There are two types of the XML file. एक है layout की XML file. Right? One is the layout XML file and other is the manifest XML file. So we will be writing the UI. You will be writing the UI or design screen into the layout XML file, right? We are not going to touch the manifest file, right? Though it is a XML file. Then what is the purpose of this Android manifest file? Whenever we'll proceed further and we will deal with some advanced Android, and when we are going to use some services or the facilities provided by the Android Studio, which we are going to use in our own application, राइट हम लोग जब भी एंड्रॉइड स्टूडियो की सर्विसेज कोई फीचर्स हम लोग अपने एप्लीकेशन में यूज करेंगे दैट टाइम यू विल बी writing code into the manifest file, and normally we are going to write the manifest file when not when we are going to write the code into the manifest file specially for the permission. The permission किस चीज का? When, as I said, when we are going to use the services of the Android, जब हम Android का सर्विस यूज करेंगे तो हमें Android से परमिशन लेनी पड़ती है कि मुझे तुम्हारा ये सर्विस यूज करना है. जैसे कि मुझे कैमरा यूज करना है एंड्रॉइड स्टूडियो का मेरे एप्लीकेशन में, सो ये एंड्रॉइड की सर्विस है और मुझे उसकी परमिशन चाहिए. सो दिस परमिशन कोड आई विल बी राइटिंग इनटू द manifest file. Have you got it? Have you
Yes,
got
ma'am.
the basic files, right? So now coming back to जहाँ यहाँ पे see, whenever I open up many files, right? Whenever I open up the many files, यहाँ पे at the top, let me move it side. Here it also gives you which files you have opened up. Right now we have opened the XML file, तो इसका कोड यहाँ पे डिस्प्ले हुआ है. When I'll be clicking on a Java file, फिर इसका कोड यहाँ पे आ जाएगा, right? So this is what and I already told you about the right window, that is the preview window, right? So this basics is clear. Now with this, if this thing is clear, just give me a minute. If this thing is clear, then we will proceed further with the first sample program, that is the Hello World program. Now let me tell you that whenever we create a new project, a empty project, it by default gives you code for the Hello World project, right? By default ये ready है, हमें सिर्फ देखना है कि वो कहाँ पे दिख रहा है, right? So let me, okay, chalo, now let us start with further. As over here it's giving me some warning that there is some rendering problem. Rendering मतलब वो screen का rendering problem है. Otherwise by default उसने मुझे यहाँ पे hello world दिखाना चाहिए था, right? So let me edit my program. So by default, see, by default ये जो main activity है इसका इतना सारा XML का कोड लिख के आया हुआ है मुझे, राइट? एंड ये जो मेन एक्टिविटी जावा की फाइल है उसमें भी बाय डिफॉल्ट इतना सारा कोड मुझे लिख के आया है, right? Now hello world is what, ये this is plain basic code of the Java key. This code simply says that you create your activity and start this activity. Activity is a screen, right? एक screen है, एक activity है, every activity represents one screen. Now go back to the XML file. Now when I go back to the XML file, now what this XML code speaks about, right? What this XML code, what this XML code speaks about. So whenever I'll be giving you the code, you please look at. Now my code has XML version and encoding. So मेरा जो भी स्टूडियो का वर्जन डाउनलोडेड है, राइट? सो एज पर दैट स्टूडियो वर्जन मेरा XML का वर्जन ये है 1.0, मेरा एनकोडिंग है UTF-8. तो अगर आप लेटेस्ट स्टूडियो का वर्जन डाउनलोड कर रहे हो तो आपका XML वर्जन में बी अ डिफरेंट, सो यू लुक फॉर दिस, राइट? सो इट इज लेटिंग यू नो कि XML का कौन सा वर्जन है. नाउ व्हाट इज द स्ट्रक्चर फॉर दिस XML कोड, right? Now the structure for this XML code is, this is what the starting tag, this whole is the starting tag यहाँ पे जो है, and this is what the ending tag. Now I hope you are aware of the XML tags, right? XMLs are nothing but the tags that you need to write. So what is the format of a tag? This is, your code is written into the triangular bracket. So this is start of the tag, and then you will be writing code in between, and this is then end of the tags, backslash, and then end of the tag, right? I hope whether you guys are aware of the XML code. in your first year, I hope you might have done a little bit of it at least.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So basic पता है आपको XML के, right? Though not, this is enough to you, right? This is a start of the XML tag. This is one way of writing XML tag, and the other way is you can write the XML tag over here something, and in between immediately the other code, and then you can at the end of this you could directly say end of the tag. So एक ही इसमें लिख सकते हो आप, right? जैसे कि यहाँ पे किया है, जैसे कि यहाँ पे है टेक्स्ट व्यू है, एक ही टैग है, राइट? दिस इज वन टैग, तो दिस इज स्टार्ट ऑफ द टैग, ये ट्रायंगुलर ब्रैकेट यहाँ पे शुरू है, यहाँ पे एंड ऑफ द टैग है, तो एवरीथिंग इन बिटवीन रिटर्न और ऑल कॉल्ड एज द एट्रीब्यूट्स ऑफ द टैग। हेडिंग जो होता है इसका, जो ट्रायंगुलर ब्रैकेट में हम लिखते हैं, दिस इज कॉल्ड एज द टैग, राइट? एंड उसके बाद में हम लोग जो लिखते हैं, ऑल आर कॉल्ड एज द एट्रीब्यूट्स। अभी आपको ये टर्मिनोलॉजीज पता होनी चाहिए। सो व्हेन आई से स्पीक अबाउट द टैग, व्हेन आई से एट्रीब्यूट, तो आपको उसका मीनिंग समझ में आना चाहिए, राइट? सो व्हेन आई से टैग, इट मीन्स दी दिस टैग। सो जो स्टार्टिंग whatever word we are writing at the start of the triangular bracket, that is tag. उसके बाद हम लोग in between जो भी लिख रहे हैं, all are the attributes. Now for example say Android colon layout width, फिर उसके बाद हम लोग लिख रहे हैं equal to and something at the right side. So equal to and something at the right side is called as the value to that attribute, right? It is called as the value to that attribute. So here, let's say wrap content is the value to the attribute. Same. Now next say Android text is equal to in double quotes hello world. So Android text, text ये so अभी if we are talking about this tag, तो हमारा यहाँ पे tag कौन सा हुआ? Tag is text view. ये tag हुआ हमारा text view, फिर उसका attribute हुआ हमारा से टेक्स्ट, ये सारे एट्रीब्यूट है, आई एम जस्ट गिविंग एग्जांपल। हमारा टैग कौन सा हुआ? टेक्स्ट व्यू, फिर हमारा एट्रीब्यूट हुआ टेक्स्ट, और उस एट्रीब्यूट का वैल्यू हुआ हमारा यहाँ पे हेलो वर्ल्ड, जो हमने डबल कोट में लिखा है, दिस इज व्हाट दी हेलो वर्ल्ड, ये हो गया उसका वैल्यू। हैव यू गॉट दिस थ्री टर्म्स? टैग, फिर उसके अंदर बहुत सारे एट्रीब्यूट्स, एंड देन every attribute will have some value, right? Now overall structure, right? This is what, now first line is gives you the version of the XML file, और ये जो tag है ना, this is this tag is specifically is called as the layout tag. ये होता है layout tag, right? This is start of the layout tag. क्योंकि यहाँ पे जो ब्रैकेट है, ऑब्जर्व करो ये ब्रैकेट, देयर इज नो बैकस्लैश, राइट? नाउ हियर दिस इज द एंड ऑफ द end of the tag. This is end of the tag because it has a backslash, right? तो किसका? ये जो लेआउट का टैग है ना, उसका एंड है। सो अल्टीमेटली योर XML फाइल का लेआउट क्या होगा? आपकी जो XML फाइल है, तो उसका ऑलवेज स्टार्टिंग होगा लेआउट, समवेयर देयर विल बी द एंड ऑफ द लेआउट, राइट? दिस विल बी द फॉर्मेट ऑफ योर XML फाइल, और इसके बीच में आपका प्रोग्राम रहेगा सारा, राइट? कीप इट इन माइंड, दिस इज लेआउट, दिस इज स्टार्ट ऑफ द लेआउट, और उसके बीच में आपका रेस्ट ऑफ द प्रोग्राम रहेगा, राइट? दिस इज व्हाट फॉर्मेट ऑफ योर XML फाइल, राइट? दिस होल इज व्हाट द फॉर्मेट ऑफ योर XML फाइल। हम लोग कुछ आगे जा रहे हैं एक्चुअली यू डोंट नीड टू बी एक्सप्लेन एवरीथिंग राइट नाउ। नाउ यहाँ पे एक ही टैग है, दिस इज स्टार्ट ऑफ द टैग हो गया, फिर एंड ऑफ द टैग हो गया, और बीच में जो प्रोग्राम था ना, राइट नाउ इसके लिए सिर्फ एक ही टैग लिखा है, ओनली वन टैग, राइट? तो इस एक टैग का जो भी आउटपुट आएगा ना, सी बाय डिफॉल्ट हेलो वर्ल्ड, ये टेक्स्ट व्यू है। टेक्स्ट व्यू स्टैंड्स फॉर आई विश टू डिस्प्ले सम टेक्स्ट ऑन द स्क्रीन, मोबाइल स्क्रीन, राइट? एंड फॉर दैट पर्पस आई हैव यूज्ड द टेक्स्ट व्यू एज द टैग। अभी उस टैग का टेक्स्ट ऐसा वैल्यू एट्रीब्यूट है इक्वल टू सम स्ट्रिंग written into the double quotes, right? So this is whatever I'll be writing in front of this text attribute will be displayed onto the screen. Now let us execute it. For this, by default, whenever you create, it gives you the constraint layout, right? It is up to you whether you want to keep this constraint layout or you wish to change. You are going to learn different layouts as well. So right now, as it is giving you the rendering problem for this constraint layout, what I'll be doing, I'll be changing its layout, right? So let me change the layout. You observe when I click over here, it highlights the portion, right? It highlights the portion. The major rule, major point, major note to remember that when you type the code in Android, it gives you hints for further code, right? You need to select from that. You do not type forcefully of your own, right? If it gives some hint, it means you are on a correct way. Once I have clicked over here, it has highlighted the whole blue one, right? Whole blue block. So I'll be deleting that blue block. So when I delete the start of the tag, you observe the end of the tag is also being deleted, right? Now I want to write the linear layout. So I'll be typing capital. This is XML is of course case sensitive. So I'll be typing L capital. So when I say L, everything which has starting with L, all those methods, attributes, names came out over here. Out of this, the first one is the linear layout, right? इसका मतलब है I am on a correct line. अगर मैं small L लिखती तो see it has given me a layout, but it has not given me a linear layout, right? I need to type in capital L, then further you can type in, but now over here as it has given me, let us select here from. So whenever I have selected the linear layout at the start, automatically it has taken it at the end of the tag, right? And now observe to the right side. Now observe to the right side. This hello world has been displayed. तो ये आपका प्रीव्यू है कि आपके स्क्रीन में कैसे दिखेगा when you will be putting this into your mobile. तो मोबाइल के स्क्रीन में ये ऐसे कॉर्नर में छोटा सा hello world दिखेगा. So see, by default, as I said, by default, when you create a new project, it is by default an hello world program, right? So the for hello world program, your code is ready. This is your XML code और Java के फाइल को क्लिक करो main activity.java. You please remember these two terminologies. XML की फाइल जो होती है, it starts with the activity underscore main, and जो Java की फाइल होती है, it starts with the main activity, right? ये जो names यहाँ पे हम लोग जो नाम देंगे ना, उल्टा करके यहाँ पे आ जाता है, right? It indicates कि ये इसका corresponding है. You don't need to give a name to the Java file, right? Activity underscore main, and again observe that layout के जो भी नाम से फाइल के वो स्मॉल में होते हैं, उसका स्टार्टिंग स्मॉल होता है, जावा की फाइल का स्टार्टिंग कैपिटल में है, right? So this is what we have seen the display of the hello world. Just to verify again, let us change this hello world, right? Say let's say I'll be saying hello by computer student. So whatever I'll be typing, it's going to be displayed, changed onto the screen, right? So this is done with our first hello world program, right? So what we have seen till now, we have seen three major points. One, we have seen that how to create the new project, how to create new project. Then we have seen all the environment in the sense, हमने क्या देखा कि कौन कौन से विंडोज होते हैं, कौन अभी हम लोगों ने यहाँ पे सारे मेन्यूज वगैरह नहीं देखे हैं, right? Then we have seen the project window, right? This is also called as what the directory structure of the Android, right? And then we have also seen the hello world program. हेलो वर्ल्ड आपका एक्सपेरिमेंट नंबर 3 है, वो भी हो गया इसमें, राइट?